Hello, my dear crafters. Happy 2023. This is my first project of the year. And what I wish for all of you from the bottom of my heart is a very messy table, which means that you're having fun and you are creating. So I will do my part by bringing you new projects every week. And I decided that I wanted to start with something very, very special. And here's what I came up with. This beautiful gift box that is very, very unique. And this one is vintage, which is my favorite style, to be honest with you. I added some flowers here, but look how different this is. Look at that. Look at the side of your box. It's not that usual box that we make with, straight sides. It looks like an accordion. This is actually a very simple technique that I'm going to teach you today. And what I did here was on the left side, because you're given a gift, I decided to have this insert which will work as a card. So you can write something to your friend, whoever is getting this beautiful box from you. So you have an insert on the left, and then you have this gorgeous box that I'm sure your loved ones will keep forever. So this is a very nice technique to make boxes. Very different, isn't it? But I love it. And here, and you can make it in any size. So here's another one that I made. Oh. It's much smaller, see, but same technique. Look at that. I love this paper here, and I'm going to show you next which papers I used. This is a paper from Michael, but same technique. Look at that. It's the accordion kind of box. I added some beautiful flowers and then ribbon, and look at the inside. This one I didn't add the insert, but you have that option. But same technique, same kind of box, just smaller because you can make it in any size you want. I will have all the measurements, okay, for this box down below. So look at that. Do you like it? Well, let's move on to the tutorial. You will love it, and I'm sure you'll be adding your own, twist to it and using the beautiful papers that I know you have. So let's move on, and I hope you have fun this year. I will bring you some beautiful things throughout the year, okay? Let's get to the tutorial now. Okay, so let me start by showing you the papers that I used in this beautiful box. Both of the paper pads are from Graphic 45. They have my favorite vintage collections. I don't know if you'll be able to find. I will see what I can find online. Even if I don't find these specific ones, I will find something similar because it's their style and they're really good quality and beautiful images. So this one is called, let me see, it has 36 sheets, and I don't know what's called. Couture, I think that's what it's called. Yes, that's the name. It's a 6x6 pad. It's really beautiful, and I use some of this as mats. The other paper pad that I used for this project is Graphic 45 Gilded Lily. This one, I'll find something similar, okay? So this paper pad I've had for ages, and they have the most beautiful pages and cutouts. I have used them over the years, and I really save them for special things because it's just so gorgeous. I love vintage. Look at this. So many beautiful images, and they're all always double-sided. So yeah, I cut out this one for this specific project. So Graphic 45, I have used this one on a big box, and this was the lid. So yeah, Graphic 45, one of my favorite. And just so you know, for this little box, the paper pad that I used was from Michael's. It's Recollections. Oh no, sorry, I think it's from Hobby Lobby. Oh, I'm not sure. No, it is from Michael. Sorry. So this is from Michael. It's called Modern Homestead. And it's also gorgeous. It has a lot of, but it's not double-sided tape. but it also has a lot of gold foiled papers. There you are, just give you an idea of what it looks like. So yeah, so that's what I use for the little box. Now let's start our project. So I'm going to first show you all the pieces of papers that you need, okay? This one, which is actually, see the cover, it's like what goes round and it covers, like the cover page for the box, is 9 3/4 long by 6 inches. 9 3/4 by 6 inches. Don't worry about the dimensions. I'll have it all below in the description box, so just check that. Also, what we need is, I did a lot of matting for this, so this is going to be the top of the box. And I used 2 papers, one from the 6x6 and one from Graphic 45, the 12x12. So this is gonna go on the front here. I use matte, guys, because even though this is thick cardstock, it just makes it more sturdy, okay? And also because you're going to add a ribbon, you need to matte because you're going to put the ribbon between these 2 layers here. So that's for the cover. I have another matted papers here for the back. It's gonna go here on the back. So 2 pieces of paper, I'll give you the dimensions. And this one is gonna go on the left together with this. We're gonna put it all together, and of course your card that I made. So that's that for the papers for the outside, right? Just for decorations. And you also have 2 strips of paper for the spine on the back and inside too. I'll give you all the dimensions. And for the box, as you can see here, I already have 3 made. Remember, that's what the box looks like. And you're going to have 4 of those, different dimensions. So 3 I already have made, but the other one you're going to need a piece of paper that is, let me just find it here, 11, both of them are going to be 11 inches. One is by 5 7/8, and the other one 4 1/8, because yeah, one is taller than the other, okay? So that's the measure for that. Let me give you the measurements for the mats. So for the decoration for these, the big mat is actually the size. It's the same measure here. So it's going to be 6 by 4 1/4. So that's the first. And the second mat is going to be 5 1/2 by 3 5/8. So this one's a little bit smaller. I always cut it by 3/8 because I think I like the border like that. So okay, so let's start. We'll start with this. Let's decorate the front and the back first, and also the spine. That's the outside. So we are going to let me find the front. That's the front. That's the back. So that's what we're gonna do now. I'm going to use running paper, and actually, guys, I'm in love with this. You know, when you get this kind of glue and you have a hard of, it's very difficult to get it running. Just look at this one, how easy it is. This is the best running tape I have ever seen. It's so easy and it just glides like nothing. It's just very, very easy to use, especially when I'm doing tutorials. I want to make sure it doesn't take so long. So we're just going to, oh, I almost forgot. So always put your ribbon first. So that's what I'm gonna do here. Kind of eyeball it in the middle. Let me put this here so you can see, and I think I'm going to zoom in for you. Yeah, there you go. So there, And then I'm just going to add some more adhesive here. So that's the front. Don't. Let me just make sure that it's well positioned. Yep, looks good. So that's the front. Let's mat the back before we adhere it. The same thing. We want to make sure that you're going to add the ribbon. I don't know how many times, guys, I've forgotten to do this ribbon thing. So I'm going to eyeball it in the middle too. There you go. Now add some adhesive here. I just can't believe how good this is. I'll have the links to all these things, to the papers that I find, even if it's not exactly the same one, but that's the style for Graphic 45. I love vintage, so I love them. So there you go. We have matted. Now we're going to glue that again. I even got some they call it some more inserts. There you go. See, I made the mats here exactly the same size as the front of the box. But you can also make it smaller if you want some kind of outline, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to have that, so just made it exactly the size, but that's up to you. Sometimes you do want the paper underneath showing. I do that sometimes, but not always. Yeah. So here we are. Make sure that it doesn't go over the folding line here, so that it folds well. There we are. We have the front and the back. Now we're going to choose which one goes here. This one or this one? I think this one. So we're going to add the spine. This is really an easy thing to put together, and as I showed you before, you can just change the dimensions and make it as small or as big as you want. So here we are. Just gonna glue that. There you go. So we have the front and back and the spine. Now we're gonna leave the box for last. So we have this piece of paper here that is 4 1/4. I just cut like a hair less, and what we're gonna do here is we want to make sure to, I'm going to eyeball this. You just get your this is one inch punch, and just I'm going to punch a little bit here just to make it easier to, and I'm going to use glue now this time. Make it easier to pull out your card. It's an insert, but it's actually works as a card in this case. So we're going to, oh, I almost forgot to put this first. So let's just put this mat, and I'm using extra paper, as I said, just to make sure that it's sturdy, because you know the cover of your box, you always want it to be sturdy. And also it's a great chance to make it pretty and use your the great papers that you have. So there you go. So that's ready for this. So we're going to add this flap here, and always when you do that, put it as much on the edge as you can, because you're going to have an insert and you want to make sure that that's gonna work. I'm just gonna wait for it to dry a little bit, and I'm going to add the inside middle part, and then we're gonna move to make the box. That's really gonna be fun, and it's a great technique. You are going to love it. It looks complicated, but it's really not at all. There you go. So we have the left here, and we're going to have the insert. See how it's a little bit, it's going over the paper, so I'm just gonna trim it because you don't want that showing. These are the kind of details, make sure to hold. This is the kind of details that really make a difference. The way that you pay attention to these things. The paper was a little bit over and I don't want that showing. So that's that, not showing anymore. And it doesn't affect at all the front and the back. Look at that. So that's practically done. We are now going to add, you know, before we do that, I'm just going to add these flowers here that I have. I got these flowers. These are beautiful flowers and they go perfectly with this paper. I actually got these at Michael's, you know, the section where they have the stickers. That's where I got these, and I put some double-sided tape on the back. And I just think that vintage and flowers, they go perfectly together. Well, this one needs a little bit of help here. I kind of screwed up that one. That's okay. We're gonna add some double-sided tape and some white tape here. That's fine. It's gonna work just fine. Gonna put underneath, and there you go. So I just added the flowers before we do the box. Just give it some time to glue. So let's do that. So here's how you do this box. As I said, it may look complicated, and putting it together is the easiest thing. So what this is the same as this. See? Let me get the small one because that's what it is. See, that's what this becomes. And that's very, very easy. What you do is you're going to score your paper I'm gonna get this one, it's better. You're going to score it every 3/4 of an inch. So that's what you do. You just keep going every 3/4. Oh, I'm missing it. So you just keep going. 3/4, and then you're just going to fold it as an accordion. So now that I reached the end, I'm just gonna go back and kind of go this way. 1, 2, 3. If you have a big scoreboard, which I don't have now right here, I don't want to go get it because it'll take time. You won't need to do what I just did, but it's every 3/4. Just keep going every 3/4. 3/4 of an inch. And there you go. I'm going to end up with one that's a little bit smaller than that. So that's what you have, a paper that's scored all over, and you're going to just start folding it. Get your bone folder to make sure that and then you do like an accordion, and really make sure that you crease it because it makes it easier later on for you. That's what you do. Just fold it, just left and right like an accordion, and that's what you're gonna get. So I'm gonna do that and I'll be back, okay? Okay, so I have finished that, and what you have left is 4 pieces, right? Because this is the box, right? So you have 2, there are, let me see the measurements here. One is 5 7/8, and the other one is 4 1/8. So it's smaller and bigger here. So that's what you have left. And these are the pieces that you have right here. So let me show you how to attach these pieces together. So what you're gonna do is, here's what you need. You need this with this, It's gonna be the lower part, and it's gonna be the sides, right? The sides are the long parts, and the top and bottom are the short ones. So all you need to do, guys, the best way that I find to do this, so this side, so I like the long part to be on top here. So here's what to do. You are just going to insert, let me get really close here so you see. You're going to insert one into the next. Look at that. One accordion into the next, into the holes right there, like this. I find that this is the best way to do it. You just go in like this, and then you slowly turn it like that, and just push it in. So I find that if you put it on your table, it's easier to just slowly push it in, and you're not going to glue it. That's the great thing about this technique. You're not going to glue this. It's going to stay there. The only part that you glue is the top part, the top and the bottom, this flap here that's on the top, okay? So that's what you're gonna do. You are going to, but you're going to wait. You don't have to glue it now. So once it's see how tight it is? Push it all the way in. It's tight enough. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same on the right side now. See? So we're going to do this one. I like to be on top. See this flap here? So we're going to do the same. So there we are. So first one comes here, second, third on the fourth. So you just keep going like that. And then again, press it in. Use your table because it makes it easier. So press it up and in, and you can see that it's perfectly aligned. So yeah, once you do that, then you're gonna you can glue it now if you want. I like to just make the whole box, and then the last thing that I do is to glue it, but that's again personal preference. Sometimes you go, or maybe you can put one of those things that hold, those things that we use in the kitchen, so you can use those too. Same thing, this flap is gonna be on the top, so you're just gonna go like this inside, just press it in. There you go. It looks complicated, but it's not, guys. Once you learn how to do it, this is gonna go into, once you do the first one, you go, oh, this is easy. It's just put it on accordion inside an accordion. Basically, that's what you're doing. So press it in, and you have your box here. So this is a good time, and it really helps to just use your table to press it in really hard. And once it's in, that's it. Now we're going to glue it. Hold it down. Let me zoom in. And here's what you glue. You only need to glue this flap here, the top part. So make sure that this is in. And you're going to put some glue. Use strong adhesive, okay? Hold it in. I'm gonna do the same on the left side here. I'm gonna put some glue. That's enough. Hold it in. And because the glue that I'm using is strong enough, and then we're going to cover this. So don't worry about this showing, because we're going to cover that. Press it in again. Always make sure that it's tight and it's pressed and you have enough glue here to really hold it together. Again, and then the last one. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to turn it and do the same thing with the other side, okay? So there you go. This side is done. And this side here, I actually, this small flap here is really not needed. Once you finish with your last flap, the 3/4, and sometimes there is a smaller one. So here's what we need to do. The last flap goes there, and we're going to glue it again. Yeah. So same thing. And this is the bottom, so this is really not going to show at all because we're going to cover that. Make sure to always press this to make sure that it's in the right place. So hold it. Same thing here. Use strong adhesive. And then I'm going to show you how to hide. Press it in, press it in. It's perfect. So there you go, you have your box. Look at that. And of course we need a bottom for the box, because I like to have something showing like this. And again, it makes it sturdy too. So what we're gonna do is add some glue so that we can. I'll have all these dimensions. I have the dimension for the box, the bottom of the box, and I always use something, you know, pretty, because it's going to show. There you go. Just glue it in. I like to just turn it around and press it with my hands like this. And there you go, you have your box. Look how easy is it? It's really not complicated at all. And once you get the technique, but I want to cover this. I don't want this showing because of that. I don't want this showing, that's not very nice. So I have 2 pieces of paper here for both sides. Guys, I am so cold. My hands are kind of shaking right now because I'm so cold. I have to turn off all the heater and everything because of the noise it makes. It's not good for the video. So there you are. Oh, this was not long enough, was it? It's okay, I'm gonna cover that with the small one. So there, I'm going to put both. I'll have all the dimensions of all these little pieces and everything. Don't worry about it. But basically what you need to know, it has to be 3/4 of an inch, because that's how wide this is. And see, I didn't make it long enough, but that's okay because I'm going to cover that with this. Oh my goodness, my house is moving. I live in a boathouse and it moves with the river. So there you go. Now, last one, and we're done. All we need to do now is actually just glue the box, and I'll show you how. Sometimes it's not tall enough, depending on your spine, but there is a way of fixing that, because all you need to do, I'll show you what to do right now. So just press this in. So this is going to always be tight, and let me show you. I'm sure that it's not as tall as the spine, and sometimes that happens and you go, oh no, that's not gonna work. Yes, it does, because the good thing about this is that you can actually open it as wide as you want. And the amount of paper that I had was enough for that. So all you need to do is just pull it up like this. It's going to open a lot and be as tall as you need. Once you finish the box, you always go, uh-oh, that's not tall enough. Yeah, it is. But you have to do this. And that's the beauty of this kind of box, because you can make it as thin, you know, as small and as tall as you want. So I think this is good enough. Let's see. Yep, see? Look at the difference. And that's what I love about this box, because it's really adaptable. So I'm just gonna pull it a little more to make sure. It's better to have it taller and then just press it in. Okay, that's that. We're done. with the box, and all we need to do now is just add it. And we're going to do that by just putting some glue here, especially on the borders here. You want to make sure that there are no corners showing. There you go. And you place it. Make sure that it can close. I always do this. Just move it around a little bit, because it's the best way to make sure that it's well positioned. And then just press it down, just the last layer, because that's what's gluing. Use your bone folder. Don't press down the whole box because it's going to squish it. And you just pull it up, open. You don't want to do that. So just make sure that the corners, and here we are, guys. We are done. I already made this beforehand. Uh-oh. Did you see what I did here? I actually glued the whole thing. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is just cover that with another one that's not glue. I'm just going to glue the sides, and then I'll be able to insert this. And we are done, guys. Let me zoom out so you can see this beautiful box. I'm just going to get this out. That was a mistake, but that's okay. We can fix it. And look how beautiful this box is. Easy, easy, not hard at all. And I love the way it looks. This accordion look is perfect. And then when you open, you're gonna have a card here for your friend. A beautiful box that's sturdy, just like this one. And you can make any size you want. You know, you just have to change the size of the papers. Look at that. Well, guys, we have started to 2023 in vintage style, which is actually my fave. I hope you enjoy this project and that you try to make it, play around with the sizes, and you'll be fine. And here I have this beautiful ribbon. Thank you so much, guys, for starting your year with me, and I hope you have a perfect, well, not perfect, nothing is, but you have a wonderful 2023 with a lot of creations. I will help you with that, okay? Thank you so much, and I'll see you next.